Some plants heal you. And some plants look so strange you'd swear they're from a sci-fi movie. But what if I told you the strangest looking ones are often the most powerful? These 7 unusual plants don't just look bizarre. They've been quietly healing people for thousands of years. Let's meet them. Number 1. Toothache Plant, Acmella oleracea. Our first plant is a natural painkiller hiding in plain sight. Meet the toothache plant, Acmella oleracea, or as it's sometimes called, the electric daisy. And yes, that nickname is earned. The flowers look cheerful enough, bright yellow bulbs with a dark red center, almost like a gumdrop. But chew on one for about 10 seconds, and something bizarre happens. Your mouth starts tingling, then buzzing. Then it goes oddly numb, like you've just received a tiny shot of local anesthetic. This isn't a party trick. It's chemistry. The plant produces a compound called spilanthrol, which temporarily blocks pain signals. Traditional healers in South America have used it for centuries to treat toothaches, gum infections, and mouth ulcers. Modern research is now looking at spilanthrol as a natural alternative for topical pain relief, and early results are promising. The toothache plant also has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Some herbalists use it in tinctures for sore throats or as a digestive stimulant. Can you grow it? Absolutely. And it's one of the easiest on this list. It's a warm weather annual, so if you get decent sun you can treat it like basil. Plant it after the last frost, give it moist soil, and harvest the flowers all summer. It also does brilliantly in a pot on a windowsill. Just keep a flower or 2 in the fridge. You never know when a toothache is going to strike. Number 2. Ashwagandha, Withania somnifera. Now, before we move on to number 2, let's step back for a moment. The toothache plant works on acute pain, something you feel right now. But what about the kind of slow, grinding stress that builds up over weeks and months? The kind that leaves you exhausted but wired? That's where plant number 2 comes in. You may have heard of it, but you've probably never seen it growing. This is ashwagandha, or Withania somnifera. The plant itself looks almost like a small shrub with dusty green leaves and these strange little red fruits that grow inside papery husks, like tiny Chinese lanterns. But the healing part is the root. For over 3,000 years, practitioners of Ayurvedic medicine have used ashwagandha root as what is known as a rasayana, a rejuvenating tonic designed to restore balance to a depleted body. And let's be honest, we all need that. And here's what makes it unusual in the plant world. Ashwagandha is what we call an adaptogen. Adaptogens are a rare class of plants that help your body handle stress, not by sedating you or stimulating you, but by actually regulating your stress response system. Think of it like a thermostat for your nervous system. If you're too revved up, it helps calm things down. If you're depleted, it helps bring energy back. Modern clinical trials back this up. Studies have shown ashwagandha can measurably reduce cortisol levels. That's your body's main stress hormone. Other research points to improved sleep quality, reduced anxiety, and even better physical endurance. Can you grow it? If you live in a warm, dry climate, Australia, California, or the Mediterranean, yes. It needs full sun, well-drained soil, and a long growing season of about 150 to 180 days. The root is harvested in autumn. You dig it up, dry it, and it's ready to use in teas or powdered into smoothies. And what a generous plant. A single plant gives you about a year's supply. Number 3. Lion's mane, Hericium erinaceus. Number 3 looks less like a plant and more like something you'd find at the bottom of the ocean. This is lion's mane, Hericium erinaceus, a mushroom that looks like a frozen waterfall of white tendrils. And unlike most medicinal mushrooms that need to be extracted or processed in complicated ways, lion's mane is one you can actually just cook and eat. It has a mild, sweet flavor that some people compare to crab or lobster when sautéed in butter. But the real reason this unusual organism has captured the attention of researchers is what it might do for your brain. Lion's mane contains 2 unique compounds, hericinones and erinacines, that have been shown in studies to stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, or NGF. NGF is a protein that supports the growth, maintenance, and survival of your neurons. Think of lion's mane as brain fertilizer. It doesn't make you smarter overnight, but it may help your brain repair and regenerate. Early research is exploring its potential for everything from mild cognitive decline to nerve repair after injury. It's also an anti-inflammatory powerhouse and a gut health ally. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is prescribed for stomach ailments and as a general tonic for vitality. Can you grow it? Hell yes. And unlike most of the plants on this list, you don't need a garden. Lion's mane grows on hardwood logs or in supplemented sawdust blocks indoors. You can buy a ready-to-fruit grow kit online. Within about 2 weeks of starting, you'll have fresh lion's mane appearing from the block. It's one of the most reliable mushrooms for beginners. We're 3 plants in. If this is the kind of practical plant knowledge you want more of, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Alright, let's keep going. Number 4. Passion flower, Passiflora incarnata. Number 4 produces what might be the most stunning flower on this list, and possibly the strangest. This is passion flower, or Passiflora incarnata. Look closely at a passion flower, and it's hard to believe nature designed it. Layers of delicate filaments in purple and white radiate out from the center like a crown. Spanish missionaries in South America saw the crucifixion story in its parts. The filaments as the crown of thorns, the 5 stamens as the wounds. That's how it got its name. But the real intrigue of passion flower isn't visual. It's what it does to the mind. Passion flower is one of the most effective natural remedies for anxiety and insomnia, and it calms without leaving you groggy the next morning. It works by increasing levels of a neurotransmitter called GABA in the brain. GABA is basically your brain's brake pedal. It slows down overactive neural firing, quieting racing thoughts. Clinical studies have found passion flower to be as effective as some prescription anti-anxiety medications for generalized anxiety, with fewer side effects. It's also used for restless sleep, nervous tension, and even mild withdrawal symptoms. Can you grow it? Passion flower is a vigorous climbing vine. In warm climates like Australia or the southern United States, it thrives outdoors and can produce flowers in its first year. In cooler zones, grow it in a large pot and bring it inside for winter. The aerial parts, leaves, stems, and flowers, are harvested during flowering and dried for tea or tincture. A cup of passion flower tea about 30 minutes before bed is one of the gentlest sleep aids you'll find. Number 5. Mullein, Verbascum thapsus. Plant number 5 is a 2-meter-tall giant that grows on roadsides and in neglected fields, and most people walk right past it without a clue. This is mullein, Verbascum thapsus. In its first year, mullein is a low rosette of enormous, silvery leaves so soft they've been called nature's toilet paper. Yes, that's a real nickname, cowboy toilet paper. In its second year, it sends up a towering spike packed with small yellow flowers that open one by one over several weeks. Mullein's healing specialty is the respiratory system. For centuries, it's been the go-to plant for coughs, bronchitis, asthma, and any condition where the lungs feel congested or irritated. The leaves contain mucilage, a slippery, soothing substance that coats irritated tissues, along with compounds that help loosen and expel mucus. The flowers can have a different outcome. Infused in oil, mullein flowers produce a golden liquid that's one of the most respected remedies for ear infections and earache, especially in children. The oil is gently warmed and 2 or 3 drops are placed in the affected ear. It's anti-inflammatory, mildly antibacterial, and deeply soothing. Can you grow it? Mullein grows itself. It's a biennial that thrives in poor, dry, disturbed soil, the kind of spots where nothing else wants to grow. Full sun, don't overwater it, and it'll tower over your garden. Harvest the leaves in the first year, the flowers in the second. One plant self-seeds readily, so you'll have it forever. Number 6. Ghost pipe, Monotropa uniflora. Number 6 is the strangest plant on this list, and that's saying something. It has no chlorophyll. It doesn't photosynthesize. It can't make its own food. This is ghost pipe, Monotropa uniflora. Emerging from the dark forest floor, ghost pipe looks like a cluster of pale, translucent stems, each one topped with a single nodding flower. It's white because it doesn't need to be green. Instead of photosynthesizing, this plant has evolved a kind of botanical heist. It taps into the underground network of mycorrhizal fungi that trees use to communicate and trade nutrients, essentially stealing from the transaction. Ghost pipe is so unusual that for a long time botanists weren't entirely sure what it was, or even if it was real. Some thought it might be some species of platypus. They were wrong. All wrong. For all its weirdness, ghost pipe has a powerful medicinal reputation. In traditional North American herbalism, it's used as a nervine, a plant that acts on the nervous system, specifically for acute, intense pain. It's been used for migraines, severe nerve pain, and emotional shock or trauma. Some herbalists describe its action as resetting an overwhelmed nervous system. This is not a casual plant. Ghost pipe is rare, it's difficult to harvest sustainably, and it's not for everyday use. It's a specific tool for specific situations, and it deserves deep respect. Can you grow it? No. Ghost pipe is essentially impossible to cultivate. It depends on a complex 3-way relationship between specific trees, specific fungi, and specific forest conditions. This is a plant you admire in the wild, not one you bring home. And that's part of its lesson. Some healers can't be tamed. You must go to them. Number 7. Goticola, Centella asiatica. We end with a plant that looks deceptively ordinary, small, fan-shaped green leaves hugging the ground. But it carries an extraordinary reputation. This is Goticola, Centella asiatica. In Ayurveda, Goticola is called Brahmi, named after Brahma, the supreme creative force. It was considered so powerful for the mind that it was given to scholars and meditators to sharpen their intellect. Traditional healers across Asia have used it for thousands of years for two main purposes: brain health and wound healing. Modern science has focused on a group of compounds in Goticola called triterpenoids. These have been shown in studies to improve circulation, strengthen blood vessel walls, and stimulate collagen production. That's the wound healing side. Goticola is used in creams and ointments for burns, scars, and skin conditions. On the brain side, research suggests it may improve memory, reduce anxiety, and support cognitive function, particularly in older adults. It's not a stimulant like caffeine. It's more of a clarity herb. It clears the mental fog without making you jittery. Can you grow it? It's one of the easiest plants on this list. Goticola is a creeping ground cover that loves moist, partly shaded spots. If you live in a warm climate, it'll spread happily. In cooler areas, grow it in a pot you can bring indoors. Harvest the leaves fresh for teas, salads, or smoothies. A small patch gives you a steady supply. From a numbing flower to a brain-fertilizing mushroom, and from a towering roadside giant to a translucent forest phantom, these 7 plants show us something important. The natural world isn't just beautiful, it's deeply functional, and you don't need a pharmacy degree to start learning how these plants work. What ties them all together isn't just their strangeness. It's that each one was used for centuries before any lab confirmed what it did. Knowledge passed down. Plants tested by generations of human experience. Safety note: as always with medicinal plants, respect is non-negotiable. Some of these are powerful. Ghost pipe especially should only be used under the guidance of an experienced herbalist. Do your own research. Start with small amounts. Know your own body. These plants are allies, not toys.